Hey, Mommy, welcome to the Mommy Collective podcast. I'm Paulina Rowe, and this is your space, the No BS All Vibes podcast for ambitious moms who know that motherhood and big dreams go hand in hand. Whether you're killing it in the boardroom, hustling on your side gig, or just trying to get through the day without reheating your coffee for the third time, and yes, girl, we've all been there, this is the place for you. We're here to flip the script on the whole you can't have it all narrative, because spoiler alert, you can. Motherhood doesn't dim your ambition, it actually fuels it. And we're going to talk all about it, the wins, the struggles, and the moments that make you say, damn, I am really doing this. So buckle up, boo. We're diving into real talk, inspiration, and the occasional hot take to keep you fired up and thriving. This is the Mommy Collective. Let's do this. Well, Alyssa, welcome to the Mommy Collective podcast. I'm really excited to have you here because you are not only like one of my favorite people to follow on TikTok, but I really love your story, and I feel like I know a lot about you because of the platform of TikTok. I think they said I found my people. I think I found my people in you because your sense of humor matches mine identically. Like I'm like, okay, like she gets it. You're a mother of two, and you're just. To me, obviously a full-time content creator, but to me, I think you're an inspiration to a lot of moms. And I want to definitely dive into all of that as well because, you said some really like insightful things prior to us recording, and I definitely want to dive into it. But first things first, can you give us a little bit of a background about yourself? I believe I know where you're from and everything, but you do have two kids, right?
Well, three, two that I gave birth to, but I have Mel full time and she's one of my kids. But I was born and raised in New York City. My mom was a single mom. She had me the day after her 21st birthday, and then had my sister like a year and a half later. Like my sister and I are very close in age. Um, I I had my daughter a month before I turned 19, and I was still in New York then. I worked as a nanny to get by, and of course, bring her to work with me. And that was like a really, really amazing idea and blessing because I was able to provide for us as a single parent and also have her with me every single day.
I love it.
Um, I stayed single for a while after that pregnancy and everything. And then finally when I dated again, I was like, you know what? Oh gosh. There was an incident with someone who was around my age, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna date really successful men. And then the incident's really funny. I feel like I shouldn't say it. Um, but
Whatever
then,
you want to
huh?
share. Whatever you want to share.
Yeah, no, it's maybe another time. But so I was with this guy for like 3 years. He got me an apartment in my neighborhood in New York City. And because my mom was making it like really difficult for me to do pretty much anything, even though I was like paying rent at my mom's house. I was doing like all the cleaning, grocery shopping, everything, then working full time. And then like when I wanted to like go out and go on dates or something, my mom would make it hell. Even if I tried to hire a babysitter to like be at the house after my daughter was asleep, she would make it hell. And yeah, so I met this guy. He saw how freaking insane it was for me to even go to dinner with him. And he got me and my daughter a really cute two-bedroom apartment, um, weekly allowances, my hair, nails, everything fully paid for. And I feel like once you get a taste of that kind of treatment, there's no going back. Like, he paid for my laundry to be sent out every week, like, just everything. So I was really comfortable. Um, we moved in together after like 2 years. And then uh, he just got like really terrible towards the end of that relationship. And um, he hit me for the first time. Like he punched me on my arm, and
Oh,
I literally left the next day. This girl I knew in Miami invited me to live, like to move here and to live with her. So I moved here 7 years ago. 3 days after I moved here, I found a nanny gig. That was really great, paid really well. 2 weeks after I moved here, I was able to find my first apartment. A week after I moved here, I started talking to my husband, and our first date, he sent me like $2,000. I didn't even kiss him. I didn't even hold his hand. He sent me $2,000, and then on top of that, 300 for the sitter. I used that money to put the money on the apartment down, and then the rest is history. I just been with him ever since. I stopped nannying because it was taking from my time from him. So he was like, "You should work for my company and be on payroll so that your schedule's like more open for me." So I was like, "Okay." And then, yeah, happily ever after.
I love it. I love the story with you and your husband. And I see a lot on TikTok because you are super, you're super transparent. Like, you obviously have talked about, like meeting him and like your standards being high. And one thing that I feel like I love about you is that you are a mother and you still were like, no, my standards are this now. You know what I mean? Because I always joke, like, if I ever get divorced, I was like, listen, I was like, baby, like the standards are up here. And I don't know if it's because I'm a mom now, especially. I'm not saying I never had high standards, but they're not as high as they used to be.
They're not as high,
I mean,
or
they
they
are, they are, they are.
they
I
are
feel like,
higher than they used to be.
yes.
Yes, so I agree with that completely. And my value increased tremendously when I became my daughter's mother. When I just saw myself as Alyssa, I I didn't love her as much. I didn't value her as much. I didn't even like do my nails or hair, any of that. I was kind of like a hippie freak. When I got pregnant, I had like green dreadlocks, like down to here. Yeah. I was like super artsy and weird, and I would only
Okay.
date these like bummy artsy guys or whatever. But then when I saw myself through my daughter's eyes, that raised the bar tremendously because I was like, this beautiful, precious little angel of a human, her mom's gonna be a hoe? Nah, like, if this amazing creature looks at me and I'm her entire world, I must be worth something. And that's when my goals, my self-esteem, everything really skyrocketed once I put myself in her shoes and I realized like I really need to step it up. I need to figure it out.
I agree. Oh my God, that makes me almost want to cry because I have a daughter too. She's my first baby. And I understand, sometimes like postpartum, like the last thing I want to do is like my hair and nails, but I'm such a believer of like feeling good, looking good, good things happening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I
At
I
least that's what.
agree. I actually just started going back to the gym for the first time in a while. Like I'm
Yeah.
very inconsistent about it.
Me
And
too.
then I've been, well, so then maybe this might help you. So I've been learning a lot about manifestation, right? And I think about this goal I have, this goal I want to manifest. And something that really stuck with me, one of the things I was listening to was like, was saying that you need to embody the qualities of the version of you that already has what you're trying to manifest. That's how you quantum leap into that reality. And then when I was trying to visualize this version of my life, which of course, like I'm so grateful for my life right now, but I have like there's so much more that I want and that I think I can have. So when I look at these goals and I imagine the version of myself that already has these goals, there were two things every time I would visualize. Um, every single time I would see myself driving and I would see myself going to the gym consistently. So then I was like, okay, well, and it for the gym, it's not like, oh, I want to be skinny. It's really the confidence and the energy that comes with it. Like every time I've been consistent in the gym, actually, every time I've been single, that's when I was going really hard in the gym. And I
Oh, really?
don't think there's a coincidence that I met my ex and my husband when I was doing that because you radiate like that bitch when you feel strong and you sweat and you get and your endorphins are going. And then I was like, okay, every time I try to do this, I fail. I end up getting lazy or I just feel like not going. So I'm like, you know what, let me just take a rest day. And then I never go back for like 4 months. So I was like, okay, if it takes between 28 and 60 days to form a habit, what if I go every single day for 60 days? And then that's just step number one. And I see how the other parts of my life change. Today would be day 27, where I've gone every single day. The only day I didn't go was Christmas. And it's only because the gym was closed. I would have gone 6 a.m. on Christmas if it was open. But I was like, okay, if I could follow through with this one thing, what else is going to happen? And I feel like this is the most motivated I've been to actually learn how to drive, like
Oh.
ever.
So you're from New York, so you probably didn't really
Yeah.
drive to begin with.
Yeah, but I've been here for 7 years. But I was in Brickell for a long time and everything is walking distance. But regardless, like I've been in this neighborhood for a little over 2.5 years now. And I just keep making up excuses. I keep, like, I'll book an appointment to take the test, and it's like 3 weeks from now, and I'm like, okay, great. But this last week, I was like, what if I just go? What if I just go as a walk in? And, I looked up what I needed. I need my social security card. Okay, let me just go. And then today, I went to the social security office, got my card. It'll be in the mail in 2 weeks. And the thing is, it's like, up until now, I've always been afraid of just going to Social Security. Like, I got there this morning and I was like, this is what I was so afraid of. But really, I realized that that fear response was this current version of me feeling comfortable and wanting to stay where I am. So, I don't know. How did I get on that rant? Oh, going to the
Manifestation.
gym.
I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, no, but really, I've been wearing makeup less often because I feel so hot without it. And it's not like I look that different, but it's because I feel so much more attractive ever since I started moving my body again.
It is so important for moms, and I understand like we're busy, I get it, but like to carve out that time, you know what I mean, to be able to like go to the gym, and like you said, to create a habit, it'll take X amount of days, and I agree with that. I wholeheartedly, and I'm talking to myself too because I have a
Mhm.
gym in my garage, like a whole gym setup. I don't even go out there. I'm so bad. It's my
How
husband's, but like, I
old
mean,
is
if
your
I,
baby?
how old is she? She's 9 months.
Aw, I mean,
Yeah.
she even in a walker watching you would work out would probably be amusing at this age. But
That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
I saw some other girl doing it, some other creator. She would always have her baby right there and doing the home workouts.
No
But
excuse, like
yeah,
legit. Maybe I can just go to our garage. So like, yeah, for me, I think it's become a thing of excuses too. I'm the queen of excuses. Like I can think of 100 things, which is true. I'm a mom, right? And I work full time, but it's like, girl, get your ass in the gym. Like that's to me, that needs to be priority because I do want to get like my pre-baby body back, but I also just want to feel good after moving, like just
yeah,
movement.
yeah, and it does release those endorphins. I've noticed since because I also quit drinking a while back, and I've been reintroducing it. Like I had drinks like Thursday night, and it was
Mm-hmm.
fun. I went shopping, whatever. But today is Tuesday, and
Mm-hmm.
this is the first day I feel normal again. So I'm realizing, wow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I felt slower, less motivated, foggy. And I was like, holy crap. When I was drinking regularly, I would I would drink like twice a week, 3 times a week. So I was constantly in this like haze and recovery and
Mm.
then back to being tipsy one night. And but I realize now since working out, I was kind of looking for those like happy chemicals to go off in my head. And now that I'm going to the gym, I actually get that. So I don't even have the desire to drink more, have a wine or even like indulge because like before I'd be like, ooh, Dairy Queen, like, oh, and then I would get like this little high and this excitement from it. But it's because you do need that and I wasn't getting it anywhere else.
That is real. No, that's so true. Well, I hope that, this inspires other moms too to like, like I said, maybe their New Year's resolution or goal, whatever, was to be more active or to do stuff like this. So,
Or
yeah.
even just putting mascara on. you don't even have to do a full face, just mascara, concealer, lip gloss, just as step one. Because, like, maybe the gym is too big of a change for people right now. But
Yeah.
going for a walk with your baby with a little bit of mascara and lip gloss, you're gonna feel so much better every single day.
Yeah, 100% agree. When I go to work, the first thing I do is I just throw like even foundation and like concealer. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, I have a blotch thing now. You know what I mean? I feel better than walking around with my naked face because I just woke up.
No,
I'm
your
like,
skin is so good. Is this your skin with nothing on it?
yes.
Damn. Drop the skincare routine. No, it's so
Thank
good.
you. It's so funny because I think it's just like my mom's genes because she's got like that woman is like phenomenal. Like the skin is skinning. So I'm like, I hope I have her genes. So Alyssa, I want to dive into like some of your content creation, right? Obviously, you've you've to me, I mean, you come up on my algorithm all the time, probably because I like all your stuff. But to me, I love watching your content. I think you are so transparent about motherhood, and you're also so transparent about we talked about this a little bit off the program here, but you said that, having a village, right? Having help. And you're like, sometimes, and I loved your theory, and you were like saying, like the moms who maybe do give you backlash, or not even moms, like whatever, and TikTok people, little trolls, whatever. If they give you backlash, right? When it comes to like you and your village, why is it important for a mom to have that?
A mom who is overstimulated is going to get more frustrated. They're going to be more short-tempered with their kids, right? And they're going to end up resenting their family. They're going to resent their husbands for not helping more, right? And I do little quotations because there's there are these standards that society pours onto us for our roles as male and female, right? As parents. Um, my husband, when we have help, we have our help, right? Outside of the time that we have help, even though my husband provides everything and works full time, he sees that time without help as both our responsibility. So he's like, "You've been with the baby for 2 hours straight, let's switch." And sometimes I'm like, "I'm good, like I'm fine." But he sees the time outside of our help as both of our responsibilities.
Love
However,
it.
as a society, we've placed the role of like breadwinner on the man and caretaker on the woman, even when the women work and are also breadwinners. So it's it's this workload, right? That not only destroys someone, because as women we end up feeling overwhelmed, underappreciated, but it destroys the family dynamic and the energy of the family as a whole because there's resentment to the husband for not helping and to the kids because they feel just exhausted. And I just
Yes.
think it's really important, especially because we have to realize that this nuclear family where we have no help is exclusive to here. Most other countries, other parts of the world, help is the norm.
Yeah, 100%. I've always said that. I mean, there's a whole term. Don't they say it takes a village?
Yeah.
That's what they mean. Like they
Yeah.
quite literally mean that.
No, and most people have you know, these like extended families living with them. Like the whole
Hmm.
leaving and then just never seeing your parents again when you give birth, that's such an American thing. Like I'm in Miami, a lot of my friends who are Latina, their families are very hands-on and within like a 5-minute drive from their house. And they move close together on purpose because that's in the culture, the norm. Like, oh, I need to be by my daughter because she's having her baby soon. It's insane.
Yeah, I know my mom is literally 5 minutes away, so I bought a house in the same neighborhood
Yeah,
that she lives in. I'm like,
but that's amazing.
and my in-laws, and this was not planned. So me and my husband grew up like not like grew up because he moved here maybe when he was like 15, but for the past 15 years, we've been in the same neighborhood. And we met at a dating app, but we didn't know each other. However, we're 2 blocks apart. So my mom and my mother-in-law are 2 blocks apart, and then
Do they
we're
get
like five
along?
minutes. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. That's amazing.
It's the best, especially because I
Yeah.
work so early. So like when I need a babysitter at 4 a.m., it's very helpful.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it. What time do you go to bed?
If I go to bed, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Right? I go to bed like 10:30, 11. I'm bad. I'm bad. But yeah, I'll wake up like 4, whatever,
holy
go to
crap.
work at 4:30. It's
That's
hard, but
incredible. That's crazy.
I feel like it just makes me a better mom though, because I love what I do. And I knew having my baby, I didn't want to give that part up of myself. So it's hard. So that's why I'm an advocate too for the village, because I always say I'm not shit without them. Like I'm looking into even getting like a part-time nanny because I'm like, I just need a little more help. And
I
I kind of
mean,
want that.
okay, so here's the thing. My nanny, she's in the house with us, and it's a way for me to, I can focus on cooking and prepping stuff, and someone's playing with him in the backyard. Or today I went to the Social Security office. I saw other kids there, but I know my kid's not going to be happy stuck in a chair, and the rest of this office isn't going to be happy if he's running back and forth, even though that's what he needs.
Right.
So, people have this idea of like passing on the work to the nanny instead of you being a mom, the nanny is. But when you have been a nanny, you know that you can be in the same house as the mom the entire day and the kids don't forget about her. They ask for her all day. You're literally an extra set of hands. And I'm sure every mom who kind of looks down on it or talks crap about the idea of having help, I know for a fact at least one time a day they say, "Oh, I wish I could split myself into two so that this one can take a shower and this one can make the mac and cheese and handle
Yeah.
dinner." Right? So we as women, we feel like we need to do every single thing, and we feel like suffering is a badge of honor to like show your love through suffering. And that's how I think the whole like sprinkle movement is really helpful for women, because I mean, I don't agree with a lot of things that Share Seven says. However, there's been this like badge of honor when it comes to suffering and love too.
I agree. I think as women, like, yes, whatever, either whether it's like career wise, right, or like you said, motherhood, or even like marriage and love, like we always saw suffering as a sign of honor, as a badge of honor. And I also think, no shade to like our grandmas, our parents, but I think a lot of them suffered in silence. And a lot of times they weren't really happy, or they were overstimulated. I think I saw this thing on TikTok that said like our moms weren't like, they weren't like necessarily, I don't know, like whatever, like bad moms. And I'm using that loosely because I know everyone's situation is very different. But I think our mothers were truly just super overstimulated. I think they were exhausted. I think that they weren't getting treated properly by their spouse. You know what I mean? A lot of our parents, I think, not a lot, well, maybe a lot, unfortunately, did like those 50-50 lifestyles, which never, I don't, in my opinion, never work. 50-50 marriages, in my opinion, will never work.
Hmm.
I don't think so. I think like you said, there's then resentment will build, or just something will build out of that. I do believe like, obviously when you have an agreement in your marriage, I think that helps, right? Because you're setting sort of like that tone. And I do think every marriage is different. I do. But I don't know. No, I'm not about to go to work, bust my ass, do this, come home, cook for you, do your laundry, raise your kids, do homework with like,
No,
no.
absolutely not. And I do think part of that, I mean, in my opinion, is like being a woman of color. There's people get uncomfortable. Either they're also women of color or they're not, but people get uncomfortable when they see women of color living comfortably as moms. And I think it's part of this like systemic oppression and just in general internalized racism, because for some reason, right, we see white women being very comfortable, being on a yacht, having nannies, whatever. There's this unspoken thing of like, that's okay. You go to those pages, there's not nearly as much hate. And I feel like a lot of my hate comments actually come from other women of color. And I think it is partially internalized racism where we don't fit the idea of comfort in our own minds, but also the generational trauma of wanting to repeat the cycle because you saw your mom suffer, you saw your mom's mom suffer, and to some women, they wear the suffering as a badge of honor. They believe that that's what love is because that's all they know. That's how they were shown love. I show my children love by being able to pour into them fully each. I went to a concert a week and a half ago with my oldest, my stepdaughter. I had a movie date with my 11-year-old, and then we binge watched anime for a few hours when my nanny had the baby. And like the baby, I'll take him to a museum that I know the older girls don't want to go to. That is a result of my luxury. I can pour into each child individually and not spread myself thin. And also, like as a mom of a girl, it's so important for me that my girls see that I'm well kept as well because I'm setting the example. Like I remember my mom wasn't really prioritizing herself. Like she was depressed in like bits and pieces. There were times in my childhood where she always had her nails done. She, did her makeup all the time, right? And I remember the times where she didn't. Like I remember that so vividly because I would look at her and I'd be like, wow, I wish my mom was like my friends' moms who are wearing nice clothes, and that would make me sad for her. And then ultimately it would make me question my own worth and what I felt my standards were for myself as a woman.
100%. Exactly what you've said. I've thought, especially when it came to like my mom too, because she was. I mean, she's a great mom, but I don't think she was dealt cards, unfortunately, right? That I feel like were maybe fair, or like some of her choices. I think like I don't know, just maybe like didn't lead her to a soft life. And I think for me, I know what I'm getting, and I want my soft life. And I want my daughter to look at me and see me and say, my mom's a badass, but my mom's also put together. She's not overstimulated. She's not mean mommy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She plays with me. She prioritizes me. But I also want her to grow up to be, I don't know, I want her to grow up to be strong, independent. I want her to be her own like thinker. I want her to be able to think independently. But I don't know, I just also want her to be happy. And I think for her to be happy, I think it has to start with me as a mom, or us as moms.
Of course, because even if you're okay, let's say you have no help, you do get overstimulated or overwhelmed or whatever, but you don't show it. Like not every single person is shouting at their kids, right? However, energy is so real, and children are so sensitive to energy. Even if you're not screaming at them, they feel your pain, they feel your sadness. And I don't mean to make people feel bad either, right? Because there are single moms who, they're incredible for being a single parent. I was a single mom
Yes.
for a long time. um but like you don't necessarily need to leave them or leave the house or have the village to prioritize yourself a little bit. I mean, instead of, because right, I mean, we've heard everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, right? Look at you
Right.
getting up at 4 a.m. though. Like, no, but what I'm saying is if you don't have the village, right, you always have the time. You can do
Right.
press-ons in your house after your kids in bed, right? You could do a 20-minute workout video. You could go for, a run with your child, right? Like
Oh
there
yeah.
are ways where you don't have to neglect yourself to be putting your children first, and you can still be a better version of you even if you don't have the resources to create the village.
I agree. No, I listen. And one more thing too, I want to add on to that is doing what works for you and your family, right? So like my big thing, I think, become a mom, and I know you and I have kind of talked about this too a little bit, was mom guilt, right? And I would love your opinion on that and kind of how to overcome mom guilt, because I feel like a lot of us suffer from it, or have at one point. But I feel like I'm done comparing myself to other moms, right? I was so big on that when I started my motherhood journey. And I was like, oh my God, well, so and so does this and so does that. and so and so and this, and I'm like, should I quit my job because like I'm gonna be a shitty mom, and all these things came to my mind, and then I was like, no, Paulina, like we're gonna do what works for your family, and I know what works for me, for me to be a better person, better mother, and then I know what works for us as like a dynamic, right, as a family. So I wanted to talk about that with you too, like have you had any experience with mom guilt, or like do you think that it's something that moms even like, how do we overcome that if you have it?
Um, well, I did mention before, we when you're a good mom, you have mom guilt. I think that's actually a sign that you really want to be the best parent you could be. I mentioned earlier, like, I don't know, also people who give their kids soda might get mad, but I'm like, there's these moms who are like, oh, I'm doing great, and they don't feel mom guilt at all. But those kids are usually in not the best environments. Like every mom who wants to be an amazing parent will feel mom guilt. And something that's helped me was realizing and accepting that. Like I am a good mom because I have guilt, because I want to do better and I love them so much. And then also, of course, comparison is the thief of joy, but we can take inspiration. You know, I try to recognize jealousy like a physical reaction, right? And if my body is reacting strongly to something, right? It's because I believe that I'm capable of incorporating that and I see that as something I should have. So I've I've learned to appreciate jealousy as something that should guide me to what my body, my instincts jump out and say, I deserve that too. Because if I didn't deserve that, if there wasn't a version of me that had that in their life, why would my body react so strongly to feel pain and jealousy? But I definitely do take inspiration from a lot of people, and I've let go entirely of jealousy because I've come to a point where um I don't know, I just appreciate having access to this. Like to know people who are doing better than me or to be friends with moms that really pour into their children 100%. Like I have such appreciation. Like or even people I follow online that I'll never see. I have such an appreciation for them showing me a glimpse of like wonder. It's just so ah I don't know. I love women and I love people and I love wanting more for myself and for my children.
Yeah.
So I just think it's exciting to like exist in a world where we have so much access to that. But it is important to stay grounded, not get lost in or try to be like everyone.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's hard, especially like when you're TikTok scrolling, bed rotting,
Mhm.
and you're just like, and I've caught myself in that, and I'm just like, but this person isn't me. I'm not them. I know I'm a bomb ass mom, and they are too. They're a great mother,
Mhm.
and at the end of the day, like I'm gonna mother the way I'm gonna mother, and they're gonna do their thing because again, it's what works for them. And no, I love that though. You find the inspiration because I do too, and that's why I love your page. Because like if I ever need like I don't know, just even a good laugh, I'm like I'm gonna go there and TikTok.
Ah, that makes me
Yes.
so happy. That makes me want to get back to posting. I've been taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Was it like like a personal choice to take a break for like the holidays and stuff, or?
It sort of happened on its own, but it was me kind of pulling because I was being super consistent on the app, like and on Instagram too. I was posting like 3 to 5 times a day on both platforms, and I was like really on top of it. Um, but I had this goal of 225 on TikTok and 100K on Instagram, and then once I kind of hit that goal, everything kind of like pulled back, and I was like, wait, I have to hit my 3D goals to, manifest my dream reality. There's this version of me that I can almost taste it. Like I can smell it. And then that's when I was like, okay, no, I have to go to the gym. I have to learn how to drive. I've been organizing every cabinet and it's kind of this 3D reset after hitting those internet land goals. And I'm like, I'm like, oh, well, that world, it's gonna be fine. It's not disappearing. Like, I'm not gonna lose a bunch of followers if I stop posting. So it's time to turn to like my 3D world and get all of that sorted.
Yeah, I love it. A little decluttering here, and, getting things done. We're gonna get your license. Are you good to go to get it, or are you waiting for your day?
No, so I went this morning. I got my social security card. That's what I need, number
That's right.
one. So that's going to come in the mail in 2 weeks. And then I go to do the learner's permit. So something with I've booked so many appointments, and obviously I never really took it seriously because I didn't know until last week that I needed a social security card when I go to that appointment. But I booked maybe like six and never showed up. I book it, it comes, and I just make an excuse or forget or whatever. So I decided, I was like, I keep making this excuse because I'm afraid of failing the test, but I was like, I can retake the test as many times as I need, and I'm sure it's easy because there's so many stupid people who drive. So I'm like, like it can't be that hard.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, let's say if I go on a Monday, I fail, I can take the test 5 more times and still have my learner's permit by the end of the week. I'll
hmm
just show up as a walk-in every single day until it happens. But again, it's just like this decisive version of me that takes action. And it really started from like going to the gym, and that started because I was like, I wanna be healthy. I wanna feel better about myself. I wanna be more confident. And yeah, so I'm really excited.
I love it. What do you think is one thing that you hope, or would want moms, and I'm saying moms in particular, right, or women, because obviously we're moms and we're women, to take away from your content? Like, obviously, I love your sense of humor. I know I found my people when I see your stuff, because I like the way that you talk about a lot of topics, whether it's, marriage, motherhood, right, or even like whatever, a day in your life. I'm just entertained. But like, what would you like want someone to take away from that, especially like a mom or a woman?
I definitely want women to start loving themselves and expecting more from themselves as
I love that.
wives, as mothers. As- I mean, even your friendships. Like I've just started. I posted a little bit today on that too, of like having higher standards for everyone around you, but also yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing with this next chapter of my content and what I'm gonna really be sharing more. So many women follow me and they ask me every day, where can I find a rich man? I want a life like yours, right? You're putting the goal of your dream life onto another person.
Right.
You're saying everything in my life will be perfect once this external factor comes into it. So I really want to start redirecting women in general, moms too, to start creating that foundation in their own lives, really showing up for yourself to, I mean, attract, yeah, your dream partner, but also you'll change the way your own husband reacts to you when you level up too. It'll inspire them to do better. And, suddenly there's more spark, there's more romance because who is she? You know? And I really think it's so good for your kids, whether you have daughters or even sons, like, because your son, they're just programmed to be like, I want a woman like my mom. So if they want a woman who suffers and works hard and pays bills, that's your fault. Because as a woman, they saw you suffering, working hard, and paying bills, and they thought in their mind that's what a real woman is, right? So I I guess that's really my biggest takeaway. I really want people to start pouring into themselves more.
Mm, I love that. Same, same. That's all I want for like for everyone, but especially for moms and like I guess me. I don't know if I'm a new mom anymore. My kid's 9 months, but
You're a new mom.
I'm still a new mom. Okay.
I think like the first 2 years is like a major learning curve. I mean, also your hormones, everything is still adjusting. Like there's like physically so many changes. Once your body is like reset back to square one, that's like 2 years. That's why I don't understand those people who are always pregnant. I'm like, God damn. I'm like,
Seriously, I'm like Okay, so I have one, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I'm doing this again. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say never, but I'm like, ooh, like to do this again. Because I had a great pregnancy and a great birth, and
Oh,
she's a great baby. I'm like,
God
I know
bless.
the second one's gonna come and whoop my whole ass. Like she's gonna whoop my
No,
ass.
they call it a trick baby. They're like the baby tricks you into having another baby because you're like, that was so easy, and it ends up being like 10 times worse. But I've been there too, and I was like, you know what? I don't really want to get pregnant again. Like I don't want to have to commit my body to another human being
Yeah.
for that long because it's not just 9 months.
No.
It's a lot longer than that. But I think I'd be open to adopting. We've been talking about maybe next year, adopting a kid around like 1, 2, 3 years old. Um,
I love
yeah.
that. You wanna grow your family and stuff and kind of.
Yeah, and there's so many babies that already need homes, and it's like it's just so heartbreaking because when you really think about it, they don't care about toys or they literally just want a safe place to sleep. They just want like food and love. That's literally all they want. And like I know for a fact I could provide that to a child. So I definitely would not do the pregnancy route. However, I love kids. I love being a mom. I have so much support and resources, thank God. And I'm like very excited. I hope it works out. I think it really depends on how my husband's doing in a year because it is a lot. Like my husband's he's gonna be 60, March 16th.
Okay.
So it depends like on how he's doing physically before we bring another kid. Because even with Keanu, he feels a tremendous amount of responsibility all the time, which I love him for that, but it does take a toll. And then, when you have a child that you're adopting, especially not fresh out the womb, there is going to be like trauma and stuff to work through with that. So I'm hoping it all works out so that we can.
Oh my God, you're such an angel. I don't understand like why anyone like whatever. I always see you responding to trolls, which by the way, I love a clapback queen. Because I'm a little shit talker, so like when you see trolls, I'm like, that's my girl. But you're just such an angel and you have such a big heart. And I love that you shared your story on here because I didn't know a lot of it, like, prior to like even like, meeting your husband and all that. Like I just have so much respect for you, and I think you're such a you're a great role model for women, but also for your kids and for for us moms. So keep up the
Oh,
good work.
thank you.
I'm
No, actually,
serious.
really, thank you. I think some people like just by looking at me, they have this idea of like who I am, and I would lean into that for a bit. Like I was doing a lot of the satire content when I first started, and those videos would go viral, but it would attract the wrong crowd. Like I love that someone like you is following me. That's like the type of audience that I want. But before it was kind of like literal schmostitutes and 304s. Like I'm
Girl.
serious. No, I'm so serious. I'd get a DM like, "This guy's flying me out. How do I go the weekend without sleeping with him?" I was like, like I don't know.
Oh my God. I mean, I would like love the tea, but like that's crazy. Like
No,
I
but
don't.
think about it, because I would make these like haha gold digger jokes, but people would be like, yeah, she's yep. But it was really funny. I don't know, man. But no, I've since leaning into my authenticity and like really sharing actual pieces of my life, I've found that not only am I a lot happier, but I'm attracting the right audience and even friends I've been making from, from Instagram and whatever. Like I'm actually making friends with other women who are funny and motivated and creative and hardworking too. And I mean, even my stay-at-home mom friends, they work so fucking hard. They're
Period.
yeah. So
Yes.
I definitely think that you're so sweet. I'm so happy that you invited me on to talk.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I was when you said you were down, I was like, hell yeah, brother. Like I was so happy.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
someone in Miami tried I think they were trying to like trap me with a podcast because this was still when I was doing more satire stuff. And then I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like that could be fun. I look at her page and then she had Latinos for Trump in her bio and like was like and she like her page, her Instagram page was fucking, I was like, I can't believe I almost, because I feel like if I went on, it would have been some like weird trap, like I don't know,
It
like
could
a
happen.
podcast bro, but like a female one. That's what that was giving. And I was like, oh, she was probably gonna attack me for like having a soft life or something, or like, no, but I'm so happy we got together. This was really fun.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much. So for anybody who wants to follow you and obviously keep up with your content because you will be posting more after you're back from your break. I love it. Where can we do that?
It's at Lissa Mara, so Lyssa dot Mara. Instagram, it's two A's because that hoe with my username won't sell it to me. But
I hate that when they do
I
that.
DM'd her. She only has like 1,100 followers. I'm like, come on, I'll give you $300. Come on. She's like,
Right.
just not responding. That's fine though.
And I bet you she hasn't posted since like, I don't know, like
She
2000.
hasn't. Oh my, she has like 12. Maybe she didn't see the DM, and I'm just salty.
Yeah. Aw. Hopefully. I'm like, maybe that page will like reset itself. I don't know. Then it becomes available for you, that
That's
username.
so funny, but it'll be fine. I feel like I'll come up. I'll probably come up first anyway.
There you go. Period. I love it. Well, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Thank you.